Good to have you along with me today. I'm working on a project to solve a problem that we have sometimes of displaying our pictures. It's really great when you actually print your pictures and have them to show people, to view yourself. You know, oftentimes we just have so many pictures that we're taking that are beautiful, we run out of places to put them. And so as I was thinking about this and producing a book, I thought, you know what would be kind of cool is to produce an accordion type book that can display many of the pictures in one spot and also have the ability to make or display wider panoramic shots. I'm working on this little piece here. I was at the end of a roll for the printer, and so I actually ran out of paper, but this was a test. And I was just kind of proving out the concept of doing this and how I might put this together. So that's what this video is about. I'm gonna produce this accordion book along with you. You can watch me do it, and here we go. Okay, so first things first is the planning stage and deciding how are we gonna accomplish this. You don't just, print your pictures and think, well, I'm just gonna make this happen, because you gotta figure, all the pieces need to come together. My initial kind of test run that I knew wasn't gonna be used anyhow, I had made for 11-inch square, and I was thinking that the panels were gonna be 11.5, but we went smaller. So I made up a mock-up, a little thing. This is a mock-up. I'm a big fan of mock-ups because it keeps you out of trouble. So this is going to be a 10 panel, 10.5 by 10.5 square each panel. Here will be glued to or taped to the inside of one cover, to the inside of the other cover, and then it will open up. Front panel, we will have a picture that is going to show through. We'll have that picture in the front, and then this will get put in, and this is the accordion panels. And when it's all done, we'll have front and back, and we'll open up, and it'll be a finished book. It's gonna be beautiful. So that part is out of the way as far as the planning stages. And I have 2 books prepped for printing. I'm gonna go ahead and get those printing, and we'll do some other stuff in the meantime while that's going. Takes a little bit of time to print that. It's going to print all one continuous thing, and it's gonna come out just beautiful as can be. I'm putting this on a Red River Polar Matte paper. It's an archival quality, and do I think that this book is going to be sitting around 100 years from now? I don't know. I doubt it, but I'm still gonna, that's how I print. We do it the best, or we don't do it. So that's what we're gonna do. Come along and we'll get started on the print. This actually, each one of these images that's on here has been exported from Photoshop as a single piece that goes on. And if you're able to see closely, I actually did the layout with the marks for where we're going to score these pages for folding. And I know from experience that doing this in a light gray, when it's scored and folded on that mark, the end user is not going to see it. And anywhere that there is a panoramic shot like this, obviously I'm not having the line go through it, it's just there as a marker. Could I do it without those? Yes, I could. You could just go by the measurement after the fact. I know that each one of these panels is 10.5, but from my experimentations, I know that this is going to work out well and make it easier for me. Okay, so the printer is finished. It did take just a little bit less than 30 minutes, but that's a lot of printing to do, a lot of images. In the meantime, I finished putting the prep on the front cover, and now here is the pretty much the roll. of this set of images. And of course, what we're going to have to do is cut them apart lengthwise down the 105 inches to make them 10.5 inches wide, 105 inches long, before we do any scoring or prepping in that regard to fold them. Okay, now that we've got it decurled and ready to go, we're going to very carefully mark out and trim lengthwise. We're going to take this gutter out of the center, make it a 10.5 inch panel on each side. And we have to be very careful so that we don't get it crooked. And here we go. I did set it up in the printer so that I have no trim on either outside edge. I wanted to keep that nice and flat, or straight exactly. And I had turned one of them so that the top was on the outside factory edge. That takes care of that trim. Okay, now that we have the pieces trimmed out, the next step in the project is to score, put a crease in the paper where it needs to fold. The key though is making sure that the paper is square with that groove. And it does have a thing up here at the top so that you can line it up. And it's really not made to do such big paper, long paper, but it'll work. And I can see that it lines up nicely. I'm square up against this rail, and I'm going to put this tool over against, see, put that there, and just apply some pressure. It goes right into the channel. I don't want to tear the paper, but what it does is it makes a nice groove there that will facilitate the folding. It's going to fold nicely because I am going with the grain of the paper, so I don't have to worry too much about that on which side of the paper that I score. And off we go, down the line. Okay, well that's the scoring on this one. Ready to be folded. This will fold this direction. And what I'm doing is I'm lining up here. Even though I have a score, I want to line that up so that I get started on a very nice thing. Track to fold, and then I just use the bone folder here to give it a nice crease. And finally, the last one goes like this, and this will be the back panel. This will actually be glued or taped directly onto the back cover. So now it will stay nice and flat and square. And so when it opens, I will do it so that you can see it. It'll open like that. This particular book doesn't have any panoramas, multiple panel, but the other one does, and at the end of the video I'll show that. Previously I put arrows on, so this is the front of the book, this is the spine, so this is going to be the front where the opening is, and this is the top. So I want to make sure that when I glue this in, that is the correct orientation. And put down some adhesive. And I think what I'll do is put down a strip here. Try to get it out as close as I can without going over. And then I'll position this, and then I'll kind of fold that gently back and put the rest of the adhesive in and then lay it down. So I have this sort of lined up here where it belongs. And I will open that up now and know that I'm going to be pretty darn close to where I need to be. That looks good. So I'm going to just press that down on that one strip that I laid down. And now I'm going to take this back the other way and put more down. Now I could have managed to get that down without doing it this way. I just thought it would work out better. I do want to have it very close to the edge here at the spine to give it strength. And I want to have, I can feel, just barely feel where that opening is. And so I want to have adhesion to it. And like I say, I could have done this with a PVA glue and just painted on there. But I don't like introducing all of that moisture into it. But I think in the future I'll do a project where I do it that way just to see the difference. So that's on there now. Let me get a sheet to lay down here so I'm not actually going over the picture. Just to keep it from any possible marking. We don't want to have that happen. There. Nice and clean on the edge, on the spine. We'll do very similar on the back. So, let me fold this back up. And so this is how that's going to be. And the book will open like that. Okay, so I got the back part taped in, glued in, and I'm going to put some clasps on this. I'll show you from the other book that I did, using some leather pieces just to hold it together. So I'm going to take those pieces and put them on here. We can take a look at this now to see how it looks. And here's our panorama. It's actually a 3-panel, so if a person was sitting looking at this on a coffee table, they could actually just open this and see the whole thing, or just look at 2 of them and continue looking at the book. Right, I love that. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. I hope that you enjoyed this walkthrough of making the accordion book. Just remember, there's lots of different ways to do things. There's not just one right way or wrong way. There's lots of ways to do this. Is just one of them. I really enjoyed making these. I ended up giving them away as gifts, and the people really enjoyed them. It's a great way to display more of your pictures and get them out in the world besides just living on a hard drive or, you know, the limited wall space that you have. So happy day. See you next time.